Oh yeah. Hey, welcome to Sidetracked. This is the place we keep the stuff that doesn't exactly fit in with one of our project builds, but we want to share with you anyway. So if you're new here, consider subscribing. Today is a pretty exciting day here at BrownSmith Railroad because today we finally joined the wireless cab family. Very excited. I've been using a tethered cab for my power cab since I got into DCC, and you know, come the end of the day, it's a little constraining. So I contacted Mike and Robin over at Pfeiffer Hobby Supply, and they've hooked me up with a new wireless setup. So what I'd like to do today is we're just going to go ahead and just go straight from the unboxing to the review to the setup. We're going to see how it operates. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I've got my handy X-Acto knife here. Find a point of origin and we'll just cut it right open, shall we? First thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out the ProCab-R. This represents the wireless version of the power cab I already have. Let me just sort of open it up. This is the regular guy way. There we go, we got it open. Well, I gotta tell you, this is pretty cool. This looks exactly like my power cab. I mean, exactly. The difference is there doesn't seem to be the necessity for a cable. Although it seems to have a cable jack on the bottom. I wasn't expecting that. But it's got this LED on the top. That's something new we're going to explore. So it looks just like my other one, which means the understanding is I can select my locomotives, my turnouts, everything just like I've done with the tethered version. So looking forward to seeing how this operates. It comes with an operations manual. Operate your cab without plugging in. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so we'll put that to the side for just a moment. And what else did Mike send me? We have the RB02. Now this is the key component. It's my understanding I can take this thing, plug it in where I plug in my power cab now, or the port right next to it. Take the old ProCab-R, boom, I can run wirelessly. Let's see what this thing looks like, shall we? What's a little black box? We got a black box, people. You plug it in here, plug it into the port on my railroad. Two places to plug stuff in there. Okay, I don't know how this is going to work. We'd have to read the instruction manual. But I know how to screw in an antenna, and wireless. Looking forward to it. And I actually, you know, hey Robin, I know you're watching this. This cable right here, as it turns out, it actually came with one. I didn't know that when I asked you for this one. So now I have two. Tell you the truth, I think I have a third one that came with my power cab anyway. If you guys have an old school phone with a receiver, I can hook you up. Anyway, that is, that's the system. And so here's the deal. I'm going to take this into the hobby room right now. We're going to plug it in and we're just going to go through the series together. What does it take? What does it take to boot it up? We'll find out here. Coming right up. Let's head into the hobby room. All right, so here we are in the hobby room and we're going to try this sucker out. First thing we're going to do is plug in my existing DCC controller. Now, here's the thing. Here's the existing one. You see the tape on there? That's because this cable right here, I use it so much, it shorts out right now. The layout just sort of turns on and off at will. So I had to tape it up and I started thinking, I should go wireless. Boom, here we are going wireless. So anyway, I bought the components I needed to operate it wirelessly, but I still need this one to basically power up the layout. So we just plug it into the port right there and wait for that little sucker to turn red. Boom, layout's hot. All right, so I gotta be honest with you guys. I kind of went through and read the directions already, and I kind of tried this once. I didn't want to waste too much of our time getting this going right here in front of all of you guys. So what I did is I read the instructions, I tried it out, and on my first try, it didn't work. It was blowing my mind. I was reading the instructions, hang on. It comes with 2 sets of instructions. We've got the ones just for the ProCab-R, and then of course for the wireless transponder dealio that we put on there. And I did what it told me to do. We just plug it all in, turn it on, and it's supposed to work. Well, I realized there is a problem with that process, and I found it on an obscure page of these directions. So let me just take you through the process that we actually do need to do to start this thing up, okay? I'm gonna grab my new wireless cab, but we're not gonna go wireless just yet. So according to the directions, we take our ProCab-R and our little slinky cable here, and we plug it in without the wireless capacity just to make sure that everything works correctly without introducing the wireless component. Sounds easy enough, right? So I got my little cable, got my dealio, plug it in, and we're waiting for it to boot up. And we're waiting. Still waiting. Still booting up. Never booted up, ever. And so I had to read through the directions again. And actually what I found was a whole nother set of directions that I missed. And right here in the introduction, it tells you that every one of these suckers needs to have its own address. Well, that's fascinating because my other ProCab is set at 02, and it turns out this one hasn't left the screen where it says its address is 02. But it's a simple enough matter, I discovered, to go ahead and change that address. Basically, and this is what they tell you to do in the instructions, unplug the tether, and then hold down the select loco button and plug the tether back in. And right now it's blinking on 02 instead of just saying 02 right up here in the display. So all I have to do now is type in 03 and enter, and then press the program escape button, and boom, it's ready to rock and roll. It's that simple. To test it, we're going to go ahead and just run the 2-truck shay up here in the logging camp real quick and make sure it works when it's not wireless. All right, so we'll select locomotive 3000 because the shay's number is 3 and I don't want to use just a 3, so it's 3000. And then let's run it forward. That works. Now let's see what happens if we run it the other way. It seems to be working in the tethered position anyway, so why don't we just go ahead then and introduce the wireless component. Now, like I said, I've already been down this road before. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is pretty simple. I'm going to unplug my wireless device. In its place, I have the NCE RB02, the little wireless guy, right? This is for the bus. Now the cool thing about these, if you got a bigger layout, they got a port A and a port B, you can set a bunch of these up and have repeaters everywhere. It shows in the book this massive daisy chain of repeaters and ways to have just a massive layout with lots of locomotives running. But here on the old BSR, I'll have 2 cabs after this. I'll be lucky to ever have 2 people running trains in here, but whatever. That's how it works. Anyway, so you plug that same cable then into the bus, where it says bus on here, and you know, it looks like nothing happens. There's no LEDs on, nothing. So I'm gonna just take this and set it down for a second. We'll set it down over here where the port is gonna be someday, where we do the water. And then we're gonna turn the wireless one on without a tether. To do that, you just push and hold the emergency stop button and it powers up. Right now it says that it's on locomotive 3000 and the last position we put it in. And I can go through then and run it forward and backwards. Let's go forward first. Wirelessly, no cables. And let's go backwards. Huh? We have joined the wireless generation, people. Now here's the thing, I've got to go through and set some parameters on this so it works the way I run my railroad. For instance, the increment speed, fast and slow and stuff, not working right on this. I like the speed to go from 0 to up, not from faster down to 0 down to reverse. There's just some features I'll set up on here to run the way my railroad runs. But you know, so far I think it's pretty cool that I can walk around anywhere and run my trains from it. So if you wait for just a minute here, I'm going to bring in my assistant, who's also my wife. Actually, she's the boss, by the way. And I'm going to get her to help me test this on the layout. All right, so hey, it's my railroad community. My wife Cindy. It's my railroad community.
Hi guys.
She is going to be my assistant, so we can test the range of this sucker, because now that I have a new toy, I want to play with my new toy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go out like into the hallway, and I'm going to try to move the shave forward. She's going to let me know if it's actually working. So hang on a minute. I got to run in front of the camera to do this. It's kind of a small hobby room. Hang on one second. All right, honey, I'm in the hallway. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Okay.
Is it going forward?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to go further down the hallway.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
Okay.
Is it going?
It's going.
Yeah. All right, now, honey, I'm going to go all the way over here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you barely.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Here we go. Is it going?
Yes, it's going.
There we go. Well, there you go. I tested it all the way out into the living room. Woo. Amazing stuff. So,
yay.
When I'm in bed at night and I just feel I'm dreaming about my railroad, I'm gonna get this thing out and run my trains from my bed. It's gonna be amazing. Okay. All right, let me kiss my wife goodbye, and then we'll get into wrapping this thing up right now. Well, there you go. The flawless operation of the NCE ProCab-R with its counterpart, the RB02, making my trains possible to run from anywhere virtually. Very excited not to have a tether, which gets stuck on the layout, on tools, on all kinds of crap in here, and just causes real problems. So I'm really happy to have this. As future developments come up, we'll tell you about them in the future. Hey, this is the kind of stuff we do here on Sidetracked. So again, if you're new here, consider subscribing. Make sure you like and share this video with somebody. Make sure you connect with us on Facebook. And again, my name is Steve Brown, and until next time, rail on, my friends.